So I'm going to start with a intro.
Okay. That's a
Okay.
good way to start. I was gonna say you could start with the outro.
Yes. Yeah. I
Go
was going to be like, thank you for watching, guys, or listening. All right. Okay. One. No, it doesn't matter. So recently, which Ethan, have you seen the video I posted in the chat?
Which one?
The the one about Disney canceling their contract with EA. I almost said Dice, but it's actually EA, the publisher.
Did they officially cancel it?
No,
Or
it
is
is
it
only officially rumors at this
speculation?
point in time.
Okay, yeah.
But
That's what I thought.
right,
I
so
had heard these rumors as well. Yes.
right, okay. So recently, there's been rumors that Disney is planning to cancel out their contract with EA and move on and sign up with other publishers slash developers. So I had the idea that we talk about our top 5 developers we would like to get the Star Wars license.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to break this off. So I was thinking we're going to break this off into 5 rounds. So we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And then done. Need some music there. Just
Yeah.
put some really epic music.
Done.
Or just like the Inception sound. Just round 5.
I think that would scare me too much just listening to it.
Just make sure the volume's like so high that it starts to distort,
Mhm.
and you have a funny YouTube video right there.
Okay. So, and then we'll do run it or any of the other ideas. So let's start with 5.
And his name is John C.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Yeah, I'll go first. Okay.
All right.
Number 5. So my number 5, the Take-Two Interactive.
Take Two. You meet the act like the company that owns Rockstar.
Yeah, I'm gonna type it in nice and loud here,
Yep. Hacker Man over here.
just so we can get an idea of what games they make. And I looked briefly. I didn't make an exclusive list for them because I wasn't sure what order we're going to go into, but they own different divisions. Mostly they own Rockstar. They own 2K, both games, play, and sports. Now, some of the stuff later on the list is more specific developers inside these larger corporations.
Of course.
So later on, I'll go into detail on like specific ones that I want. But Take-Two is like an overarching. If Take-Two got it, they could go in so many different directions.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I would want like a GTA style Star Wars game, because I'm already in enough toxic communities, and if they made a Star Wars community that was that toxic, oh boy.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. No,
I was gonna say, funny enough, I was thinking about that earlier today, like a rogue game, like you're playing as someone who takes stolen goods or illegal goods and sell them, a smuggler.
yeah, like a smuggler type character.
Yeah.
The problem with that is there used to be Star Wars Galaxies, which was basically a sandbox, and if you try and make a sandbox game that's Star Wars related, everyone's gonna go, but you know, it's not Galaxies, so I mean, it's not as good. So, but I think overall, Take-Two to make, and I think more specifically like a BioShock style game. So something
BioShock.
that's like a first-person shooter that has like, it's like a first-person, it's a first-person shooter, single player, like RPG. I would like that quite a bit.
All right. So we well, I got that part, but I was gonna ask, would you want to be as weird as BioShock 1 and 2?
So it's tough to say. I think yeah, actually, I would love if like, especially if it was like on one specific planet. That like maybe like if it was only on say Mygeeto. I would love to learn like the terrible shit that happens on Mygeeto, and like try and survive some just awful shit. as like a character. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I think I can dig that. All right. So is there anything else you want to add before I get to my list?
No, not for number 5.
All right. So obviously Nintendo. No, not really. No, not really.
That's not colorful enough.
CD Projekt Red. I can't imagine anyone else would go with CD Projekt. I mean, CD Projekt Red has to be on that list.
Okay, wow, that's a pretty bold choice.
Why not? I mean, like The Witcher went pretty well, and I can imagine a Jedi-based game or Sith, depending on how you want to play it. Some choice-based RPG with a limited amount of planets using the Witcher style, way of playing a game.
But wait, don't you mean you want a game like Gwent? You want a Star Wars card game?
You mean just for Zach?
No, I mean like Star Wars the card game. Have you ever played that?
There's a Star Wars card game?
I have it.
Of course you would.
It's not a collectathon. It's pre-made sets. Different. It's a deck builder.
Like a trading card game.
It's not a trading card game though. You buy the set. It comes with every set comes with the same number of cards, the same cards, and then you like buy the expansion or whatever, and you can use that to build a deck. It's more like a deck builder than it is a trading card game. Anyway, no, I think you're onto something like a story-based, decision-based type like Star Wars game, which are like some of my favorites. So it's a good pick.
Also, considering all the bad PR Star Wars currently have with both The Last Jedi and Star Wars Battlefront 2, I was thinking CD Projekt Red has so much good PR. It works.
Yeah, that's a good pick. They are high up on the list of like game companies and like developers that don't have a shitstorm following them wherever they go.
Exactly.
Yeah, good pick.
All right, ready for round 4?
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
I think I'll go first this time.
Okay.
Blizzard Activision.
You have got to be shitting me.
Is that your number 4 also?
That's my number 4.
All right, so I guess.
Oh no.
Okay. I have a feeling we're about to say the same thing again. So, I choose Blizzard Activision because they're both generally known for their multiplayer shooters. In the case of Blizzard, they could do more than just shooters, but that's neither here nor there. So, first idea. Overwatch, but with Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I mean, but that's a personal opinion.
Yeah, what I'm actually going for is, in particular, just a hero shooter. Currently, yes, Overwatch doesn't put out enough content. It also seems to stay unbalanced in certain ways, and they have horrible ability to balance their characters. But I can imagine Blizzard making some hero-based shooter or first-person kind of game with Jedis primarily.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think if there was going to be like Overwatch, it would need to have more than just like Jedi. But like, just because of the way that Overwatch plays, it requires a lot of shooting elements, not just melee elements. Like, you have your melee characters, like, I'm going to say Genji because he is semi-melee, and then you have characters like Reinhardt, who is totally melee, except for his first strike. But you'd have to have like a balance of both melee and ranged characters. Otherwise, it would be just like Battlefront 2 is right now, where if you were playing a Jedi, all you have to avoid is a rocket launcher, and you're pretty much good.
Yeah, but like, actually, I'm leaning more towards melee-based content rather than as a shooter. The reason why I chose like Overwatch just an example because it's melee-based, and I'm just giving you an example of what I mean by hero shooter.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so you know more than me how unique all the force abilities are. I can imagine you can put quite a bit of creativity if they're given the free license to make up stuff.
As long as there's a Mace Windu, Mace Windu who can jump up in the air and ground pound, we're good. That's all I want. Like, honestly.
Yeah, as long as they also have General Grievous
and Captain Phasma.
Right. Okay. So in case I don't want to take your idea, so I'll come back to me. You can go off to say why you want
Oh,
Blizzard.
okay. I mean, for my Blizzard pick, I didn't actually say Blizzard Activision. I went full Blizzard on this one, and I
All right.
want like a Star Wars real-time strategy similar to the Warcraft series and the StarCraft series. I would love a base builder, resource gathering, like real-time strategy that involves micro and macro management of both forces and bases. There's like right now there's kind of a dry period of pretty good real-time strategy games. Uh, I mean, StarCraft persists, but it's not as popular as it was when it first came out. And there's newer takes on that type of genre with games like There Are Billions, which is like it's a real-time strategy turtling like simulator, really about like zombie survival and wave combat. But
Right.
I mean, right now we're missing out on some really good real-time strategy combat games, and I think a Star Wars one would be amazing because there's a history. I mean, do you ever play Age of Empires?
No.
Okay, well, Age of Empires 2 was a very famous real-time strategy game. And-
Famous enough for them to make a mobile game.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a Star Wars clone of it that I do actually have a copy of called Star Wars Battlegrounds.
Right.
It was like an exact clone. Like they changed the skins and everything, and called it and added some voice acting, and they called it Star Wars Real Time Strategy. It's actually quite good, but compared to the other Star Wars Real Time Strategies we've had since, I mean, Empire at War was good, but the modded content's 10 times better than the base game. So
Always.
I mean, there's places to go, and I think they should bring that back. And I think Blizzard would be the perfect ones to do.
I knew you were going to go for that. That's why I had to stop myself. I was thinking, okay,
Yeah.
seconding StarCraft like game. I was like,
Yeah.
you could probably guess that. Let me let him have it.
I used to play it a lot, and I still like playing real time strategy. It's just the genre is kind of shrunk in the recent years because of MOBAs.
Have you played Total War?
I've watched it and have not been interested in it.
Oh wow, really?
Just because that game is entirely micro.
All right.
It's all about micromanagement of your forces and such. And I just miss the days when like unit pathing was so trash that you could send your units across the map and they'd just walk through the enemy base because you told them to go past it. But I also just like I'm not as good as at the micro elements as I am at the macro elements. So I want to have more of like a base builder first, and then combat come as the second. And Warcraft and StarCraft gave me that, whereas like Total War doesn't even give me the base building.
Mm-hmm. I can see that because I'm not really a fan of base building, but I do like the idea of like control. Oh, there's another game I can think of. There is a game called Nobunaga's Ambition. It's primarily on Sony consoles though, but it is also a very. It reminds me more of StarCraft rather than Total War. It's just mostly primarily building up bases and such.
Yeah, I mean, you got stuff like Halo Wars, which is all about building armies, but the base building on that is not as good as like the StarCraft games.
And the Warhammer games.
Yeah, Warhammer is a lot more about like, yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, StarCraft is just looks like Warhammer characters.
Only the Terrans.
All right, okay. So my my other idea for Blizzard to make is an MMO.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, just do a new Star Wars: The Old Republic or something of that nature. They have World of Warcraft. It can't be that hard.
Yeah, no, I agree. They make a really good MMO, Star Wars MMO. Probably one that people would like.
Yeah.
Because the Old Republic has kind of died out real fast. So, I mean, you know, I like it, but I like it for its more RPG elements. But because it's what's strong at, and that's what I like about it. It's better at being an RPG than it is at it being an MMO. So
of course, yeah, it's not a very grind. Oof.
There's some grinding, but the
Yeah.
grinding's not the same.
Yeah. Clearly, the story
haven't
is the
gotten-
focus.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to like the classic MMO grinding yet, though. I haven't gotten to like I'm the max level, and I want this one piece of gear that you can only get from this one mission, and you have to beat the last boss to get it. I haven't gotten to that yet, and
Yeah.
I think if I do, I might jump out a window.
No, it's actually really fun. It's like playing. That's what Monster Hunter is. Monster Hunter is just doing that.
Okay, so then you and me need to do that
Yeah.
sometime soon. We'll get there.
All right, so you ready for round 3?
Yeah.
Fight. Phoenix,
I'm ready.
insert round 3 here. You can go. You can go first this time.
Okay, so for 3, I actually have 2. I have 2 different ones. I had a tie for 3rd place.
All right.
Both of them are strategy games, no surprise, but they're 2 different types. So, my first pick, which is a bit lower for number 3, is Ubisoft. I would pick them for their really good real-time strategy game series, Anno.
Anno. I never heard of that.
Anno is basically exclusively base building. That's why you've never heard of it.
Of course. Okay. I see there's a trend here.
Yeah. It's a really good game series. The combat is not that great, but it's known more for like the games like Anno 1404. They were originally based on like the Western colonization of the Orient, and it was like it's all about like building your bases to gather resources, and then you use those resources to advance your people to the next like class. And once they've reached a higher class, then they require new resources that you have to then go out and get, etc., etc. The fun part in that is that you can like min-max the shit out of it. Like you could, like, there's a certain amount of space on every like island that you colonize, and you could try and use up every single square of that island to try and get the max. It's like this is a really specific part of real-time strategy nerd culture right here is the Anno series.
Yeah.
And the most recent entries in it have been mixed with the community. The most recent ones being Anno 2070 and Anno 5, which both take place in the future, and people did not like those. So I think it'd be really cool if we had a Star Wars like Anno where you land on a planet and you have to colonize the various islands on that planet, and then eventually build up like a space fleet to then go to the next planet and colonize that one, with each planet having different types of resources. So like some planets may not have islands, but they'll have like the core of the planet's gone, so you have to settle on asteroids. So it's like you have to navigate that asteroid and all the sides of that asteroid. I don't know, there's so many different directions, but I think it'd be kind of cool to like play as a faction throughout different parts of Star Wars history. So like say I wanted to do a 20-hour session of the Empire.
Right.
I have the Empire, I can colonize a planet and take over all the little islands and do all that shit. And then say I want to play like the Trade Federation, I could build a droid army or do shit like that. There's a lot of options there.
Yeah, I was going to ask, would there be any like class bases, or like whether you're like a merchant and you can choose to give your resources to the Empire or the Resistance or Republic or whatever the R word is in the case.
Well, the way that the normal Anno series works is that there's actually multiple different factions within the game that are at combat on the same planet. And so, like, usually in Anno 2070, which is the one I played, there were, like, the capitalists, essentially, like, who just blew up the atmosphere, didn't give a shit about the environment, and were really good at building out bases very quickly. And then the other faction, like, one of the other factions was, like, Greenpeace.
Of course.
A bunch of hippies who like took care of the environment, and like they're a lot slower and slow burn, but each of them has like different everything basically.
Well, okay, so considering that there's one side that cares about the environment, another one doesn't, does that mean like as you get resources, the planet's life just start to die out?
Yeah, that was one of the mechanics they added to 2070 that people weren't a big fan of, but yeah, that was like the main thing. Is like for the like green people, I'm completely forgetting their names right now, the corporations and the whatever, they couldn't build certain things if it started having a negative impact on their environment, and they had to build buildings that would help the environment to counteract anything they built that would be negative to the environment. Whereas the like more capitalist people, like if they deteriorated the environment so much, their colony would die out. So they had to do this similar thing, but it was at a different like stage in their development. But you could see like when they landed on the island and as they started building out, like the grass would die out, like all the animals would die, and just like it would look like shit.
Right.
Whereas you look over at the green, it's like verdant as shit and like very, very green.
It was like Fallout.
Yeah, it's kind of like Fallout.
Right. Okay.
I have to show you that sometime. I like it a lot.
Compare it to your other resource building games.
It's different. It's a lot more restrictive.
Can you just throw an EMP at your opponents and just disable them?
No, this is not like that one. That one.
Can you just cause total planetary annihilation?
Yes, but it takes forever.
All right. So what's your second game?
The second developer would be Firaxis, part of Take-Two Interactive, the company that was basically founded by Sid Meier, known for making a variety of games, some of which were pretty good, but specifically I want to highlight Civilization.
Right. That's
turn-based strategy. Yeah, I would love a Star Wars turn-based strategy game where, similar to all the other Civilization games, you're on a planet, you advance through a tech tree, you build up your cities, and you build up forces, and you can attack each other. I think it'd be pretty solid and pretty easy to do.
So would it be different from like StarCraft, or would it be in the same kind of playstyle?
Oh, because StarCraft is a real-time strategy, whereas Civilization is turn-based.
Okay.
Which changes everything. So, like, the way that works is you can only perform a certain number of actions or whatever, depending on how many units you have. And there's like during multiplayer matches, there's a time limit on each turn, so you only have like a minute and a half to like do all the things you need to before your next turn like takes through.
All right. Okay.
You should. I recommend checking out Civilization 5. Civilization 5, I liked a lot. I only started picking back up Civilization 6 more recently because it's very different. But Civilization tried to make a science fiction-y reboot recently that did not meet critical reception.
Yeah, the one where they go into space.
Yes, I think it's called Civilization After Earth or something. I forget what it's called. Civilization Beyond Earth.
Yeah, it's definitely not After Earth. That's the Will Smith movie.
Yeah. Civilization Hancock. The
Civilization. Damn it. The Fresh Prince of Civilization.
Civilization, oh god, what was that radar movie he was in?
Bad
With
Boys?
the vampires.
Oh, vampires?
They were like kind of vampires.
I Am Legend.
Yeah, Civilization I Am Legend.
I Am Civilization.
I Am Civilization.
Like, I actually could have been the title, considering how he just put up all those mannequins and pretended they were people. He basically did make a civilization.
Yeah, he kind of did. So that would have been a good second working title.
All right. Okay, so you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Obsidian Games?
It sounds familiar. What do they do?
Obsidian, the creators of Fallout 1 and 2, New Vegas.
Aha! Yes.
The real RPG ones. They're also made Wasteland, which it plays like XCOM, but it's Fallout universe.
Sounds right up their alley.
Yeah, so they're the guys really known for like single player, really immersive, choice based RPG games. And I don't know, I mean, you should know, so it's the second one. So I just feel like Star Wars does really well, considering KOTOR exists.
Yeah.
And, Star Wars: The Old Republic. I think it just really lends itself to RPG-based games, especially single-player ones. So
it does really well. Yeah.
Obsidian could make a good RPG. I would prefer more like Fallout New Vegas or a Skyrim like RPG, and not a
third person.
Right.
Rather than a omniscient.
Yeah, I don't want to play XCOM. I want Fallout New Vegas.
What's wrong with XCOM?
Oh, no, it's just what I would want from them.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, okay, so Yeah, that's all I have to say. I haven't played that many Obsidian games, but they do generally have high critical acclaim from people most of the time.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I haven't played the original Fallout, but I did watch about 6 hours of a playthrough. And all I remember was that this was still in the days of like all of the RPG games were basically D&D.
Right.
And so like when the guy built his character, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna take like 1 point in intelligence. It's gonna be fine." And so his character would walk up to somebody and be like, "What are you doing here? Why can't you speak?" He's like, he hits the option, "I don't know. Why can't you understand me?" And he just goes,
That happens in Fallout 3 also, you know.
yeah, they carried it through.
Yeah, when your intelligence is
great.
below 3, you lose a good portion of the quest you can take on.
And you lose the ability to speak.
Right. Oh, in Fallout 4, there's an ability called Savant, Idiot Savant. And
Oh
so the
yes, I
lower-
have heard of this.
The lower your intelligence, the more likely you get XP boosts.
It's insane.
So
But yeah.
during Christmas, I made a character called Lucky Ted. He just had maxed out luck, very, no strength, perception, or agility. And so
And no intelligence.
the goal was like to kill people by pure luck.
You just hope that a meteor hits them.
Yeah, well, so you know the ability Mysterious Stranger, right?
No.
So how it works is occasionally when you use the VAT system, a guy would just appear and insta-kill the opponent for you. So the goal was to just rely on this one person to kill my opponents.
You pull up the vats and some guy runs in with a spear.
Yeah.
Hey! Oh, got it again. That's one more
Man.
time I didn't have to fight today.
And so there was this one time it happened when the Deathclaw came at me. I pulled up the bats, missed all my shots, and then you see the Mysterious Stranger comes up and then shoot it and it insta-kill the Deathclaw right before it kills me. It was just like, I need to get back to doing that.
Well done. Lucky Ted. Very good.
Anyway, so yes, that's the kind of game I want for a Star Wars game.
I think it would work really well.
Okay, you ready for number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so my turn. I'll go first. Guerrilla
Okay.
Games.
Shit. What did they make again? Fuck. I remember that name.
Killzone.
Oh, wow.
Also, more famous, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Look at you. You being a weeaboo over there.
Yeah. I was thinking, so Guerrilla Games, since they do shooters and they made that game, they have a lot of versatility in what they can do. And,
Yeah.
you know, compared to the other stuff, which I have a Jedi or a Sith in mind, this would, because Killzone is just it looks kind of like Star Wars to me in my head. I imagine you could play as the Empire during the original trilogy, but it's made as you're one of the grunts.
Yeah. And it's just okay. I'm looking at some summaries and some screenshots. I see it.
Also, Killzone 2 and 3, I really love playing. Despite how like a lot of people trashed on Killzone during the PS3 era, it was to me like one of my favorites things. It did this thing that other companies just started doing. In Killzone 3, in the multiplayer, there was this one game mode where the map would open up and you do more things. So you do one part of the map, you complete it, and then a cutscene would happen, and then you move on to the second part of the map. And then,
Oh, right.
and if you're the attackers and you win, a cutscene would blow up, show you doing whatever you were supposed to do on that map.
I mean, the first Battlefront reboot in 2015 did that, but it was like the map was kind of open, but they locked you out from different sections.
Yeah.
And you'd advance through it
The first,
in like a tug of war.
I thought that was Battlefield 1 that started doing that.
Probably. I didn't play Battlefield 1.
Because it has this thing called Operations, where it functions the exact same way.
Yeah.
Or
That sounds
COD World War II has the war mode that also does the same thing.
But you're claiming that Killzone did that first.
Yes, to the extent of how it's done now, yes. But no one thinks about it because no one played Killzone.
We
Has to
have
be
a
triggered.
professional over here. We have a PhD in Killzone.
PhD in games no one cared about. I'll keep you posted. Check my blog out. No one cares about me.
.com.
.blog. I mean
.blog.
uh,
No one cares about me. .co.uk.
yeah.
No one cares about me. .ru.
Are you? Is that Russia?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say that's from what it looks like. From what Killzone looks like, I'd say it's a pretty solid idea.
Yeah.
I back that up.
All right. So what's yours?
Number 2, correct?
Yes. We're getting to the nitty
We're gonna do
gritty.
something a little bit different for this one. For number 2, Colossal Order.
Colossal Order.
Colossal Order is known for making a lot of businessy simulators. Businessy as in transport simulators. However, I'm not going to focus mostly on transport simulators because I don't find the transport simulator idea to fit well with Star Wars. But I do, however, think that City Skylines would lend itself very well to a Star Wars game. I'm saying we should have a city builder.
That's like Sim City, in case anyone
Like
doesn't know.
SimCity. Yes. Like similar, you pick a faction or you pick like the huts or something like that, and
Right.
you have like a very specific building style that changes over time and like changes with politics or war based on like random events, and it would be fun, I think. One thing I've always kind of wanted in a city builder is an actual time progression. So like it took place in reality. You had a real life city builder. You
All
started in like 1850s, beginning of skyscrapers, and then as time went on, cars would change, buildings would change. You had more options. You get more advanced tech throughout time, and you could play and have that city like change throughout that large amount of time. I think it'd be really fun, but I think a Star Wars game that was also a city builder could do that too, where you started in like the prequel trilogy, or maybe even the Old Republic, and your city expands and changes over thousands of years. That'd be kind of cool.
All right. Yeah, I can see it work more with Star Wars than real life.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately.
Can you also like choose the planet you can stay on?
Oh, absolutely. I think the different map options would be like different planets. So one could be Coruscant, like but pre-Coruscant. So like it was just an empty barren planet.
Right.
It's your job to turn the entire planet into a city. Ooh, the graphics. The amount of computer power you might need to do that, but still, I think it'd be kind of cool.
Oh, it would take probably like 3 to 4 years to produce anyway.
Hey,
You'll have enough time to buy the newest
I'll have enough
laptop.
time.
Start saving now.
Yeah. By the time I get through half the planet, my computer will die, so I'll have to get a new one.
As the saver grows, the frame rate just drops.
Yeah, it starts out at like 120, but by the time you get to like at least a quarter of the planet, you're hitting 30.
Yeah.
And every building you add, like the game like lags a little bit,
Yeah.
and then like you see the construction start, and then it like resumes.
That was something
Be
funny about-
perfect.
Just say, you see people walking towards the beginning of construction, and then it's already halfway finished by the time you catch up.
Yeah, it just kind of like it does like what happens when occasionally you're watching a video that starts buffering,
Right.
but the audio keeps going.
Oh.
And so like the video stops and the audio keeps going, and then when it finally like catches up, it like speeds through it and then catches right back up. It feel like that.
Okay, maybe we should. Maybe that shouldn't be made then. Yeah.
I think it'd be
a good
perfect.
idea.
Perfect. It's a perfect game.
The ultimate game for breaking your laptop or your computer.
It's the game that like all PC builders would use to test and see if their rig can handle anything. Because right now, I think it's one of the Warhammer games. There's like a Warhammer game that like just you need a beast of a computer to run it on max.
Send it to Digital Foundry so they can tell you what kind of specs you need.
They're like, you're gonna need a supercomputer, and maybe like a Razer mouse. That's all the advice we can give you. Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to number one.
Right, I'm pulling my. So it's you go first this time.
I'm gonna go first. Your turn.
Yeah, I went first last time.
Okay. So my number one,
Number one.
Arcane Studios,
Sounds familiar.
Dishonored.
Ooh, that'd be sick.
So Arcane Studios makes both Dishonored series and Prey, and Prey is a bit more sci-fi-y, so I think it is a better example. But I haven't played Prey, so I'm going to use Dishonored as my example.
You didn't play the demo?
No, I haven't. I started watching some gameplay though, so that's the step in the right direction. I would love Prey and Dishonored are like sort of like sequels or spiritual successors to both like Fallout and BioShock, and take it in a little bit different directions. Each of them.
System Shock.
System Shock, yeah, they're all coming from System Shock. And what those games do really, really well, especially like Dishonored, from my experience, is giving you a wide range of options on how you can tackle your objectives. So let's say, let's take the idea from Battlefront 2 and make it what it should have been. Let's say you are part of the Empire's elite secret service,
Right.
and you get thrown into a battle. You have to navigate around that battlefield, but you have so many different options on how you can. You have weapon options. You have route options, like you can go, like say you want to flank left around a base, or say you want to go right and go through a base. You can do full combat. You can do all stealth. And I would also think it'd be fun if there was a twist where you became a Jedi and you got a lightsaber and you could use those options. So like, it'd be so fucking cool if you could be like in Dishonored. You're sneaking up behind someone, and instead of stabbing them in the neck with a knife, you took a lightsaber and just chopped their head off.
So it's like Skyrim, but with guns.
With lightsabers. It's like Skyrim with lightsabers.
Yeah.
I think the options for that type of game would be pretty much endless. And
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool, and you could tell so many different unique stories from different perspectives at different points throughout Star Wars history. And it'd be gory, graphic, and violent, but also really fun.
Yeah, I actually like that idea more than anything we previously said. And that was a really solid one.
That's why I saved it for number one. I'm like, this is actually a really good idea. I think it'd be great.
I'm kind of upset I didn't think of anything that clever.
Let me guess, number one, a MOBA.
No, that was back in my Blizzard idea. That is kind of like, Star Wars isn't a Blizzard.
Think of Paragon, but Star Wars.
It's like, think of Far Cry, but with lightsabers.
No, sorry. Think of Skyrim with guns.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So you like that idea?
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Back to Skyrim with guns, you just reminded me. I hate that expression.
Yeah.
Because Far Cry isn't anything like Skyrim when you actually think about it.
Isn't it objective based?
Yeah. And it isn't it's not exploration based like Skyrim is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel sad. I feel sad for him. Okay, so okay, here's my idea.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Platinum Games?
They just slipped my mind. Give me some examples.
Is a studio Ian hates.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know I don't want to tell you. I actually want you to guess which game series is made by them that I like. There's multiple.
Bayonetta.
Exactly. Ooh, I spiked right there. So, I really like character action games. Now, if you don't know what a character action game is, it's an action game that's really focused on being a spectacle. Like, it's really stylish and over the top and very actiony. Mm-hmm. Like, you doing like a bunch of ridiculous stuff, like Devil May Cry, him having like shooting guns in all directions. Or in Bayonetta, doing like slow motion, turning into animals, and like all that stuff. So I think because I really like that stuff and what I love about Star Wars, and since I grew up on the prequels, so I'm more into the over the top action. I really want an over the top action game where you like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
I was gonna say like Force Unleashed. That's the
Yes.
closest thing to it. Yeah.
But I want it
But
more
better.
like Metal Gear Solid. I mean Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which I'll have to send you a video so you can see like what kind of stuff I'm thinking of. But essentially, like you're a samurai in that game, and there's a mode called Senketsu, I think, where time slows down and you can control how you're gonna slice, and then it'll actually chop off only that part. So if I select vertical at your arm, it'll only chop your arm off.
Wow.
Something like
Okay,
very
yeah.
precise, over the top action with lightsabers and force powers. Something
That'd
like
be
Metal Gear
pretty
Rising.
amazing.
Yeah, that's very much a very meeting. It's
Yeah,
not going
that's
to
very
happen.
you, but I think it works. I think it works though.
It won't happen, but I would love it.
Do you think mine would happen?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
it's
I don't
yours
think
is
so.
way more plausible.
But like I don't see Disney going, Star Wars meant for kids. I know, an adult game for Star Wars people. Like I don't see them doing that.
They did what was that spin-off series where they had to get the Death Star?
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Wasn't that
I was
rated
still
M?
not even
Was that
no,
rated
it
R?
was not. It was not. I was rated PG-13.
They now
They
own
didn't
Deadpool.
say the F word.
They own Deadpool.
Okay,
Or,
but yeah, that's one franchise.
Or like some of the death scenes in Star Wars are pretty gruesome, no matter how you look at it. Like
Unlimited power.
yes, or what happens in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
So I think
We
they can
won't
pull it
spoil
off.
that.
You
I
know,
think yeah, alright, fine. Alright. I believe you, sure.
or oh wait, no, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is T.
You know what developing studio I just thought of would be perfect for all this?
What?
Naughty Dog. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Never mind. No.
No, I agree. That's on my runner-up list.
They would make a game, but they wouldn't make the game I want. They wouldn't make a Jack and Daxter. They would make a Last of Us. I
Yeah,
don't want a Last of Us.
but that's what they're really good at.
But Last of Us gameplay is basically what Battlefront 2 is. The
No,
Battlefront 2 campaign
it's
is basically
Uncharted.
Last of
It's
Us.
Uncharted.
Okay.
You just don't like Have you played Uncharted? No, you don't. You don't
No.
own a PlayStation 3. So
No, I don't own. And I own the last PlayStation I own, and the only PlayStation 2.
exactly. But it plays more like Uncharted. It doesn't. I don't like Battlefront 2. EA's Battlefront 2,
Yeah,
and those two definitely play differently.
I was going to, as a joke, put on the list LucasArts.
Come on, man. Too soon.
LucasArts is known for making a lot of.
They don't exist anymore. Shut up.
LucasArts.
Don't bring this up, man.
They're known for making a lot of point-and-click adventure games, and I would love a Star Wars-themed point-and-click adventure game.
You're done. You're finished.
Yeah, I'm done.
It's the last thing I want to see a point-and-click Star Wars game.
I can imagine it. You're like, Han Solo's like, "Hey kid, can you go grab my wallet over there?" And you like have to look for it. I'm like a pile of crap.
You know,
There you
might
go.
as well just make a Star Wars Dance Dance Revolution.
They did that.
No, a Dance Dance Revolution.
An official Dance Dance Revolution
Yes.
game, not just a knockoff.
Right.
I can see you playing that
No, I wouldn't.
in the arcade alone at 1 a.m.
What do you mean? It'd be a bunch of people seeing a fat guy hit the steps. Damn, look at that footwork. I didn't know he could do it.
That's what I said when I saw you first do Dance Dance Revolution. I was like, oh my god, it's like lightning.
All right, enough of the jokes. Yeah. So what's your runner-ups?
I didn't really have any runner-ups. I kind of put everything in.
All right.
I'm sure I'll come up with stuff later, but like, if I didn't think of it yet, it's gonna be a runner-up.
Okay.
So I mean,
So here's mine in case. Ubisoft.
for which
Not
game?
for the reason you're making. For I think for another multiplayer shooter, they could do it.
Yeah.
Or a For Honor game. I feel like you could do a For Honor.
Like a lightsaber combat For Honor.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see it. I just
Yep.
don't think the fan base is there for that kind of game.
Of course not.
Yeah.
But like actually, a more single player focused like For Honor could work, since a lot of people actually do like lightsaber combat.
They do, but they like very specific types. So I remember watching like a very long video talking about Jedi Outcast and how there's still a pretty decent community of people who play Jedi Outcast for the lightsaber combat and think it's the premier system for lightsaber combat. So if they made a For Honor type game that had very complicated but swift lightsaber combat, they would immediately have a fan base.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, yeah, that they probably have to tone it upwards. Increase the speed.
They have to increase the speed, increase the detail, because For Honor has a lot of combo attacks, and I think what people are more looking forward to is just like combo button attacks. So like instead of pressing like EER, they want something that's like ERT, like you have to press buttons all at the same time to like do some sort of very specific Sorezu slash. That's like the Star Wars nerd community is strong enough that they just need a lot of detail.
All right, I definitely can't wait to show you the Metal Gear Rising. I think that's exactly what they will want. Kind
Okay.
of. So
yeah.
next idea. I don't have a game, but just because Capcom.
What would they even do? Like,
They
I don't
can-
even.
So fighting game, they could do that. I doubt it.
There was a Star Wars fighting game.
I know. Maximilian
remember
played
it?
it. He really, it was really busted.
I had that for PS2.
They
It's
could.
Star Wars Episode 3. It was pretty bad.
They could make like a Resident Evil like game. Go into the more horror route. Because there's a bunch of weird stuff in Star Wars. I can imagine you could use it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Alright.
We're completely forgetting about like a zombie survival game. So, Treyarch to do a Star Wars zombies.
On a Death Plague like this. I intentionally ignored that because I was like, I don't know enough to consider that a possibility.
Well, there's a lot of Star Wars lore about diseases being caused by the Sith, but yeah, you could have some sort of Sith infection spreading, and it's the Jedi who have to remove the infection.
You're right.
Like a strike team.
You can just do Rat Ghoul.
Yeah, you could do Rakghoul. Yeah, you could do Rakghoul. See, look, we just did it. We solved it.
Future
We
game
done it
developers
there.
over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna start coding right away.
Right.
So just
All that art school really worked out for this.
you let me know when you're ready for the. Yeah.
All right, I'll do the voice acting. I got this.
All right. Just say the same phrase with slightly different tonality.
I got this.
Okay.
I got this.
No. Slightly. It's too drastic.
I got this.
Okay, that's better. Yeah.
Clearly, I'm not a voice actor. So, in the last but not
I'll,
least, for
okay,
shits
yeah.
and giggles, Kojima.
Star Wars. But what are Jedi?
I don't know what he would actually do, but
He would change the rules of the universe. He would make it that like all Jedi eventually become Sith, and they have to like either kill themselves or like save themselves.
so they just change your name to like punished Obi-Wan. Punish Luke
Animalized.
Skywalker.
Yeah.
Solid Luke. Liquid Luke.
I'm just trying to think of like, because the only thing I know about Kojima really is I've read a lot of videos trying to break down what they think Death Stranding is gonna be.
Yeah.
And it's so overly complicated. I just don't know where to go with my mind. I'm just like, okay, so there's gonna be rain that could change time, and there's these things that have umbilical cords that are actually the size of a planet, and I don't know what's the baby for. And I'm just like, I don't fucking. This is too complicated.
Yeah, it is. But that's why I like the idea of Kojima just making a Star Wars game.
You know, Mace Windu wasn't actually black.
What, he had like the reverse Michael Jackson disease?
No, I heard something in a podcast that they're talking about like a movie that came out or like a TV show. I don't remember the title, but it's like apparently there's like an Asian dude who becomes a white dude. That's like the main premise of the story. I'm just like, what if Kojima did that with Star Wars? Yoda becomes Mace Windu.
So he also just grows up?
Yeah, he also just grows up.
All right. Or
Let me do,
he
do
also
some of
did
the voice acting for the zombie game. Hold on. Back up. Okay. Back up. Back up. How's that sound?
I was gonna say it need more cussing, like saying shit and damn.
Back the up shit. Oh, I fucked it up. Sorry. Let me try again. Back shit the up.
You got this. Third time's a charm.
Back that ass up. Oy.
I was waiting. I was waiting for that. I had it in my mind the first one. As soon as he said the first line, I was like, he's gonna say, "Back that ass up."
All the time.
Get in.